Imagine a mighty oak standing tall against the raging storm, its roots deep in the earth, unmoved by the furious winds that seek to uproot it. That oak does not struggle, it does not rush, yet it stands victorious when the tempest fades. So it is with a power of patience, a virtue so often overlooked, yet so essential for the man who seeks true success. In a world dazzled by speed, by instant gratification, the impatient man runs headlong into battle, swinging wildly, exposing his weaknesses. But the man who understands that patience is power, he waits, quietly, calmly, unseen, like a predator lying in wait. His strength grows in silence while others exhaust themselves in noise and haste. To wait quietly is not weakness. It is the mastering of oneself, the harnessing of inner strength that only the disciplined mind can attain. It is the understanding that every moment of calm builds the foundation for a decisive strike. That strike, when it comes, is swift, sure, and devastating in its precision. It is the embodiment of wisdom forged in the fires of restraint. Victory is not won by reckless speed, but by smart strategy. It is won by those who know when to hold back and when to unleash their full force. The impatient falter, the patient prevail. The difference lies not in the weapon or the size of the army, but in the mastery of time, the ability to wait for the perfect moment and then strike with unwavering confidence. Remember, the world rewards those who win smart, not those who merely fight hard. The man who conquers life's challenges does so with a silent heart and a steady hand. He understands that power lies in patience, that triumph belongs to those who wait quietly, strike hard, and win smart. Patience is true power. It is not merely the absence of action. It is the conscious restraint of a mind that is strong enough to wait for the right moment. Too often we associate power with loudness, with movement, with aggression. We admire the man who charges forward, who speaks first, who fights hard. Yet true power, the kind that endures and conquers, lies quietly in the heart of patience. It is the power that comes not from muscle, not from wealth, not from loud declarations, but from the discipline to hold back when every part of you wants to leap. When a man learns to be patient, he learns to master himself. He learns to control not only his outward behavior, but the storm that rages within his mind. The restless thoughts, the impulses to react, the need to prove something. These are all forces that drive the average man into error. But the patient man, he observes, he measures, he waits. And in that waiting, he gathers strength. The world may mock the man who chooses patience over haste. It may call him passive, slow, indecisive. But what the world fails to see is that patience is the foundation upon which lasting power is built. A patient man is not idle. His silence is not emptiness. Inside him something is building. Each quiet moment is a forge where his character is strengthened. Each delay is a chisel carving deeper wisdom. He does not rush because he understands that time is not his enemy. It is his greatest ally. While others are reacting, chasing shadows, burning out in a frenzy of activity, the patient man conserves his energy. He stores his potential, and when the time is right, he will act, not with noise, but with devastating precision. Consider the lives of the great achievers, the thinkers, the builders of empires. They were not impulsive men. They did not live by the hour or dance to the tune of public opinion. They learned to wait, to hold their vision tightly even when the world around them fell into chaos. They were not in a hurry to succeed because they understood that greatness does not sprout overnight. It grows slowly, nurtured by patience, rooted in perseverance. The fruit it bears is sweeter than anything plucked in haste. Patience is not passivity, it is preparation. It is the active decision to hold your fire until the target is clear. It is the confidence to remain calm while others are scrambling because you know something they do not. That power, real power, does not come from chasing every opportunity, but from choosing the right one. And how do you know which is the right one? You wait, you listen, you watch. You train your instincts through discipline and allow your intuition to mature. That takes time, and only the patient are willing to give time what it demands. The man who reacts in anger, who speaks in haste, who rushes into decisions, he spends his power before he understands its value. He leaks energy through his impatience, but the man who waits, he multiplies his energy. He builds up pressure like water behind a dam. When he moves, the force he releases is not wild and uncontrolled. It is focused and unstoppable. The world is moved by such power, not because it is loud, but because it is deliberate. In business, in relationships, in the pursuit of any worthy goal, it is not the fastest who win. It is the most strategic. The patient man allows his knowledge to catch up with his ambition. He does not rush into ventures because of fear of missing out. He studies, he prepares, and when others collapse under the weight of their haste, he stands firm, having built slowly and wisely. His foundation is deep, his decisions are sound, his victories are not accidental, they are earned. To be patient in the modern world is to rebel against the tyranny of urgency. Everything around us screams for our attention, demands our response, feeds on our haste. But the man who cultivates patience has broken free from that trap. He is not driven by noise. He is driven by purpose. And that purpose gives him the power to wait, because he knows what he is waiting for. And when the moment comes, as it always does for the prepared, he steps forward, not with desperation, but with clarity and command. Patience trains the mind to rise above emotion. It teaches you to see farther, to think deeper, to resist the shallow pull of instant gratification. It teaches you to keep your eyes on the horizon even when others are distracted by the dust at their feet. It is not a weakness. It is a quiet, indestructible strength. A patient man is a dangerous man, not because he is violent or loud, but because he is in control. And that control gives him the ultimate power. The power to choose when and how to act, and to do so with such force and wisdom that nothing can stop him. Silent strength is one of the most misunderstood qualities in the pursuit of success. In a world that often celebrates noise, loud voices, flashy displays, rapid reactions, the quiet man who waits calmly is often overlooked or dismissed. Yet, beneath that silence lies a reservoir of power far greater than any shout or rush. To wait quietly is to harness a force that is subtle but unstoppable. It is the strength of discipline, of self-control, of purpose carefully held and nurtured without distraction or rash action. The noise of the impatient man is easy to hear. His decisions are often impulsive, his actions hurried, and his emotions exposed. He broadcasts his intentions before fully understanding them, revealing his weaknesses to the world. This kind of behavior burns energy like a wildfire, spreading fast but leaving destruction in its wake. The impatient man's strength is fleeting because it is scattered and uncontrolled. He fights battles everywhere on every front, often without strategy or clear direction. In contrast, the man who waits quietly understands the value of conserving his energy. He does not waste power on empty words or meaningless gestures. His silence is intentional, a strategic pause that allows him to observe, analyze, and prepare. This quiet is not absence. It is presence in its most potent form. He listens to what others miss, notices the subtle shifts in the environment, and cultivates patience as a form of strength. This kind of silent strength is not about hiding, but about choosing when and how to reveal one's power. Silent strength demands mastery over one's emotions. The restless mind wants immediate results. It wants to act, to react, to be seen and heard. But the quiet man understands that true strength lies in restraint. He does not let frustration, anger, or impatience dictate his actions. Instead, he channels those feelings into calm resolve, using them to sharpen his focus rather than scatter his energy. This control over emotion builds an inner fortress that protects him from the chaos around him and enables him to face challenges with unwavering confidence. When a man can remain calm amid turmoil, he gains an advantage that cannot be matched by force alone. Chaos feeds the impulsive, it disrupts their plans and scatters their efforts. But the quiet man uses the storm as cover, moving beneath the noise with precision and purpose. His strength lies not in the volume of his voice, but in the depth of his resolve. This depth is what allows him to strike hard and win smart because he is never rushed or panicked. He waits for the moment when his impact will be greatest, and then he delivers a blow so decisive that it cannot be ignored. Throughout history, the most powerful leaders, inventors, and thinkers have demonstrated this silent strength. They were not the ones who shouted the loudest or acted on the first impulse. They were those who observed, listened, and prepared in silence until the time was right. Their quiet patience gave them the clarity to see beyond the immediate distractions, to plan with foresight, and to act with authority. Their strength was not flashy, but it was enduring and effective. Silent strength also inspires respect. A man who waits quietly commands attention not by force, but by his demeanor and composure. People are drawn to those who possess this calm confidence because it signals control and wisdom. It tells others that this is a person who understands the value of timing and the power of measured action. Such a man does not need to prove himself through noise or haste. His presence alone is enough to make an impact. This strength is not something that can be learned overnight. It requires practice, discipline, and a deep understanding of oneself. It requires the courage to stand still when others are rushing forward, to remain silent when others are shouting, and to keep faith when others are doubting. It is a quality forged through experience and reflection, a product of deliberate choices rather than circumstances. The quiet man chooses his battles carefully and in doing so, conserves his strength for when it truly matters. The power of silent strength also lies in its unpredictability. When the world expects a reaction, the quiet man surprises by holding back. When the crowd is loud and scattered, he is focused and steady. This unpredictability creates a psychological advantage, making opponents underestimate his capabilities or timing. They mistake silence for weakness, not realizing it is the calm before a storm that will shake the very foundations of their expectations. In business, in personal relationships, in any arena of life, silent strength is a decisive advantage. The one who can wait quietly gathers information, builds alliances, and strategizes while others rush in blind. He avoids the pitfalls of haste and rashness. He understands that power is multiplied when it is reserved for the perfect moment. His strikes are neither random nor impulsive. They are calculated, precise, and effective. To embody silent strength is to rise above the noise of the world and the chatter of the crowd. It is to trust in the power of patience and the wisdom of timing. It is to recognize that true power does not need to scream or boast. It speaks softly but carries immense weight. Those who develop this strength learn to wield it with confidence, knowing that their quiet weight will be rewarded by a strike so hard and so smart that it will change the course of their destiny. Precision over impulse is the mark of a truly successful person. Yet the man who understands the value of precision knows that not every action deserves his energy and not every moment calls for a response. To strike with precision is to act with intention, with clarity, and with confidence born of careful preparation. It is to resist the urge to react impulsively and instead wait for the perfect alignment of circumstances before unleashing one's full force. Impulse is the enemy of clarity. When a man acts on impulse, he sacrifices thoughtfulness for immediacy. He is driven by fleeting emotions, distracted by surface appearances, and often blinded to the consequences of his actions. Impulsive decisions scatter energy in every direction, creating noise but little lasting impact. The impulsive man moves quickly, but he often moves in the wrong direction or at the wrong time. His power is wasted because it lacks the guiding hand of precision. Precision, on the other hand, is a discipline. It requires patience, self-control, and a deep understanding of one's goals and environment. The man who strives for precision does not simply react. He calculates, he observes the variables around him, studies the landscape of opportunity and risk, and chooses his moment carefully. Every movement is deliberate. Every strike is measured. This careful approach transforms raw energy into a focused force that can achieve extraordinary results. The natural world offers countless examples of precision's power. A skilled archer does not shoot arrows wildly into the air hoping to hit a target. He studies the wind, adjusts his aim, breathes steadily, and releases his arrow only when all conditions align. The arrow flies true, striking its mark with exactness and purpose. So too must the man who seeks success act with this kind of precision. His efforts must be aimed with a steady hand and a focused mind. Precision over impulse is also about timing. Acting at the right moment multiplies the impact of every move. The man who rushes in too early may find himself outmatched or unprepared. The man who waits too long may lose his opportunity altogether. The wise man learns to recognize the subtle signs, the shift in the wind, the opening in the defenses, the hesitation in the opponent's step. These clues are his signal to act. And when he does, his strike is not just hard. It is perfectly placed, exploiting the weakness and maximizing the effect. This discipline of precision demands a calm mind and a confident heart. It requires one to resist the urge to react emotionally to every challenge or setback. Instead, the precise man holds his ground, gathers his resources, and waits for the moment when his efforts will have the greatest effect. This waiting is not passive. It is an active preparation, a sharpening of focus and resolve. When he finally acts, he does so with a power that cannot be matched by reckless force. Precision over impulse also protects a man from unnecessary loss. Impulsive actions often lead to mistakes, wasted time, squandered resources, damaged relationships. But when every move is calculated and every decision weighed, the chances of error diminish. The precise man learns from experience, refining his aim with each attempt. So, he values quality over quantity, choosing a few well-placed efforts rather than many scattered strikes. In the world of business, precision over impulse is what separates the visionary leader from the frantic manager. The visionary sees the big picture, sets clear goals, and waits for the optimal moment to invest, expand, or innovate. The frantic manager reacts to every market fluctuation, rushing decisions without full understanding, burning energy on short-term fixes. The results speak for themselves. Precision leads to sustainable success, while impulse often ends in failure or chaos. Relationships, too, benefit from precision over impulse. Words spoken in haste can cause wounds that take years to heal. Decisions made impulsively can fracture trust and create conflict. But when one approaches relationships with thoughtful intention, when one listens carefully and chooses words with care, the bonds formed are stronger and more enduring. The precise communicator understands that timing and delivery are as important as the message itself. The discipline of precision sharpens a man's character as well. It teaches patience, humility, and respect for the complexity of life. It encourages reflection rather than reaction, wisdom rather than haste. The man who values precision learns to control his impulses, to master his desires, and to cultivate the clarity needed to navigate life's challenges with grace and power. History is filled with examples of men who won not because they were the strongest or the fastest, but because they were the most precise. Their victories were the result of careful planning, disciplined execution, and a deep understanding of timing. Their strikes were swift and decisive because they had prepared themselves to act at exactly the right moment. Their success was not accidental. It was earned through the mastery of precision over impulse. The man who embraces precision understands that power is not measured by the number of actions taken, but by the effectiveness of each one. He knows that a single well-placed strike can achieve what countless reckless blows cannot. He respects the value of restraint, recognizing that sometimes the greatest strength lies in knowing when not to act, as much as in knowing when to strike. Precision over impulse is a mindset that transforms how a man approaches every aspect of his life. It elevates him above the chaos of reaction and places him firmly in control of his destiny. It allows him to win not just by force, but by intelligence and strategy. It is the hallmark of those who achieve greatness, those who understand that to win smart, one must first learn to act with precision. Smart wins over strong is a truth that many overlook in the heat of competition and ambition. The world often praises brute strength, the loudest voice, the fastest action, the greatest display of power, but strength alone is insufficient without the guidance of intelligence and strategy. True victory belongs not to those who rely solely on force, but to those who combine their power with wisdom, patience, and thoughtful planning. The man who wins smart understands that strength is a tool, not an end in itself. Without direction, strength can become reckless, wasteful, or self-defeating. Strength is visible, it is raw and immediate. It grabs attention and can intimidate. But smartness is subtle. It works behind the scenes, shaping outcomes with foresight and insight. A strong man may bulldoze through obstacles, but a smart man navigates around them, finds leverage points, and uses minimal effort for maximum result. This is the difference between the warrior who fights every battle and the strategist who wins the war. The greatest achievements in history have often been secured by minds rather than muscles. Battles have been won not just by numbers or weapons, but by superior tactics. Empires have risen and fallen based on the wisdom of their leaders rather than the sheer size of their armies. This principle applies equally in business, relationships, and personal growth. The man who understands the power of intelligence over mere strength charts a course that conserves his energy, maximizes his impact, and secures lasting success. Smart winners do not waste their strength on futile efforts. They choose their battles carefully, focusing on those where their advantages are greatest and the costs of failure are manageable. They prepare thoroughly, gather information, and analyze every factor before making a move. This thoughtful approach allows them to anticipate challenges, avoid pitfalls, and seize opportunities that others overlook. Their victories may seem effortless, but they are the result of careful calculation and strategic patience. In contrast, the strong but unwise man often charges blindly into conflict. He expends his resources on every skirmish, exhausting himself and those who follow him. His energy dissipates, his resolve weakens, and his chances of ultimate victory diminish. Strength without smartness is like a sword swinging wildly. It may cut deeply, but it also leaves its wielder vulnerable and off balance. The smart man wields that sword with precision, striking only when the time is right and the target is vulnerable. Smartness also involves adaptability. The strong man may rely on brute force to push through obstacles, but the smart man learns to bend, to adjust, to innovate. He understands that rigid strength can break under pressure, but flexible intelligence endures and thrives. This adaptability allows him to respond to changing circumstances, to turn setbacks into advantages, and to maintain control in situations where strength alone would fail. The value of winning smart extends beyond immediate success. It builds reputation, trust, and sustainable relationships. People respect and follow those who demonstrate wisdom and prudence, not just raw power. Smart leaders inspire confidence because their decisions are measured, their actions purposeful, and their goals clear. They do not alienate others with reckless force. Instead, they build alliances, negotiate effectively, and cultivate environments where cooperation leads to mutual benefit. In personal development, the principle of smart wins over strong teaches the importance of self-awareness and continuous learning. Strength can get a man through many challenges, but without insight, he may repeat the same mistakes or fail to grow. The smart man reflects on his experiences, seeks knowledge, and refines his strategies. He recognizes that true power comes from aligning his actions with his goals, values, and circumstances. This approach transforms how one faces obstacles. Instead of struggling harder against resistance, the smart man looks for leverage points, for ways to work smarter rather than harder. He conserves his energy for the moments that matter most, avoiding burnout and frustration. His victories are sustainable because they are built on understanding rather than mere force. Smart wins over strong also means recognizing the limits of one's power and seeking help when needed. The strong man may stubbornly insist on handling everything alone, risking failure through isolation. The smart man knows when to delegate, when to collaborate, and when to draw on the strengths of others. This humility and pragmatism expand his capacity far beyond what brute strength alone could achieve. In the realm of competition, the smart man studies his opponents. He learns their weaknesses, anticipates their moves, and exploits openings with surgical precision. Strength without strategy is easily countered, but smartness turns even a weaker force into a formidable contender. It turns challenges into opportunities and obstacles into stepping stones. The principle that smart wins over strong is not about weakness or avoidance. It is about mastery and control. It is about channeling energy effectively and making every effort count. It is about choosing the path that leads not just to victory, but to meaningful and lasting success. The strong man may rely on sheer force to break through walls, but the smart man finds the door and opens it quietly, gaining entry without unnecessary struggle. Ultimately, the man who wins smart combines intellect with strength, strategy with power, patience with action. He understands that true success is not measured by how hard one hits, but by how wisely one uses one's strength. His victories are not merely moments of triumph, but foundations for continued growth and achievement. This balance of brain and brawn is the hallmark of greatness, the key to mastering life's challenges with confidence and grace. The essence of winning smart lies in the mastery of timing, strategy, and execution. To triumph in any endeavor, one must not only possess power, but also understand when and how to use it effectively. This combination of patience and precision transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary results. It is not enough to wait quietly or to strike hard. The true victor is the one who wins smart, who blends calm preparation with decisive action to shape destiny on their own terms. Winning smart demands a deep understanding of the circumstances surrounding every challenge. Life is unpredictable, filled with shifting variables and unforeseen obstacles. The smart man does not rush headlong into conflict, but studies the terrain, reads the signs, and adjusts his plans accordingly. This adaptive mindset allows him to anticipate changes, prepare for contingencies, and remain flexible in his approach. He understands that rigid plans may crumble under pressure, but strategies that incorporate patience and timing endure. The power to wait quietly is not a passive state, but an active form of strength. It is a conscious choice to withhold action until the moment is ripe, ensuring that efforts are not wasted prematurely. This waiting is filled with observation, learning, and growth. The smart man uses this time to sharpen his skills, gather resources, and build alliances. He cultivates resilience and focus, so that when the moment arrives, his strike is not only powerful but also perfectly timed. Striking hard requires more than physical force. It requires the courage to commit fully at the decisive instant. The smart man recognizes that hesitation at the critical moment can mean missed opportunity. Yet he also knows that reckless haste can lead to failure. His strength lies in balancing patience with boldness, waiting silently, then moving swiftly and decisively. This duality is what separates the successful from the unsuccessful. The quiet preparation fuels the impact of the strike, making it overwhelming and effective. Winning smart also involves learning from experience. The smart man reflects on past encounters, extracting lessons from both victories and defeats. He refines his strategies, eliminates weaknesses, and adapts to new challenges with wisdom. This continuous process of improvement ensures that each effort is more precise and potent than the last. He does not rely solely on brute strength, but on the accumulated knowledge that transforms potential into actual achievement. Moreover, winning smart means understanding the value of selective engagement. Not every battle is worth fighting, and not every contest leads to meaningful gain. The wise man chooses his engagements carefully, conserving his strength for those conflicts that align with his greater goals. This discernment prevents exhaustion and frustration, allowing him to maintain energy and focus for the moments that truly matter. His victories are strategic, enhancing his position rather than depleting it. The ability to win smart creates lasting influence. The smart victor gains respect not only through triumph, but through the manner in which success is achieved. His victories inspire confidence, build credibility, and establish a foundation for future endeavors. He does not merely overpower opponents. He outthinks them, earning loyalty and trust. This legacy of intelligent success opens doors and creates opportunities that brute force alone cannot secure. In the broader context of life, winning smart reflects a philosophy of balance between action and restraint, strength and wisdom, speed and patience. It teaches that true power is not demonstrated by dominating others, but by mastering oneself. The man who wins smart controls his impulses, manages his resources wisely, and navigates challenges with clarity and purpose. His success is sustainable because it is grounded in understanding, not chance. The journey to winning smart is ongoing. It requires vigilance, discipline, and a commitment to growth. Each moment of quiet waiting is a chance to prepare for the next strike. Each strike is an opportunity to learn and improve. The smart man embraces this cycle, recognizing that mastery is a process rather than a destination. His victories, therefore, are not fleeting flashes, but enduring milestones on a path of continual achievement. In the end, the principle that patience is power, wait quietly, strike hard, and win smart is a timeless truth. It is a blueprint for success that transcends circumstance and era. Those who live by it develop an inner strength that cannot be shaken, a strategy that cannot be outmaneuvered, and a resolve that cannot be broken. They become architects of their fate, shaping their world with deliberate intent and unmatched effectiveness. So embrace the power of patience. Learn to wait with purpose and silence. When the moment is right, strike with all your might, but above all, win smart by combining wisdom with strength, preparation with action, and calm with courage. In doing so, you will not only achieve victory, but secure a legacy of greatness that will inspire and endure.